week. France 24's correspondent in Kyiv, Gulliver Cragg, has more details on the Russian attacks.
The Ukrainian authorities have been warning for some time that more attacks on the energy grid and the capital in particular were likely. Vitaly Klitschko, the mayor of Kyiv, had been urging residents to leave. Last night it was a pretty big attack and clearly has had some impact on the electricity situation and on the situation for heating, with hundreds of thousands of households in Kyiv still without heating. And in this area, for example, households that did have heating are today without it. We'll see how quickly the Ukrainian engineers are able to get the heating back on again. But these are people who are having to repair again and again installations that get targeted again and again by these Russian attacks, which have now started focusing on the substations that are supplying the electricity generated in Ukraine's nuclear power plants. The nuclear power plants themselves haven't been directly targeted, and they're basically now the only Ukrainian major power generating facilities that are still intact. Last night's attack was also deadly. A worker at the Roshen chocolate factory in Kyiv was killed. That factory is located quite near to a power station, so it's not clear whether that was the deliberate target. In any case, according to Yuri Ignat, spokesman for the Ukrainian Air Force, out of 12 rockets that were sent towards Kyiv, 9 were shot down. Lately, the Ukrainian air defences have been doing a pretty good job of shooting down the rockets, partly, no doubt, due to new supplies of Western air defence capability and ammunition. And Volodymyr Zelensky, the president, said that he's coming back from Davos with new agreements with Ukraine's allies about supplying more of those things. In terms of the other outcome of Zelensky's trip to Davos, which was this hastily organised tripartite meeting between the Russians, Americans and Ukrainians in the United Arab Emirates, a second day of talks has now wrapped up. They've said that they'll reconvene next week. They keep saying that they're making progress, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of the Russians budging on their demand that Ukraine withdraw its forces from the remainder of Donetsk region, the part that Ukraine still controls. And there is no sign of the Ukrainians saying that they are willing to do that. So it's hard to see what progress on the main issues towards a peace agreement can actually be made. What people are talking about as a possibility is that there may be some kind of agreement on a ceasefire by which the Russians would stop targeting Ukraine's energy facilities and the Ukrainians would stop sending their drones to attack oil refineries and other installations of that type in Russia. But that deal has not yet been announced. It's only rumoured.